Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. He's Mike Brenner, and calling in via Skype, we have Doug Upstone, our old friend Doug Upstone, who's going to give us a preview.
He's a young friend, Pete.
Yes, oh, absolutely. And he's going to give us a preview of the Texans-Niners preseason game that goes on Sunday. This is an interesting one because there's been a significant line move on the total, right? It opened at 35, now it's up to 36.5 or 37. It's been steady. It wasn't just one jump. It was 35, then it was 36, and 36.5. Now it's up to 37 in some places. Niners, of course, everyone expecting them to have a bad year. We're particularly down on them, right?
Sure.
But they're the favorite of -3. The backup rotations are going to be, I guess, Gabbert, Kaepernick, Thad Lewis, Jeff Driscoll, and then for Houston, Tom Savage and Brandon Weeden. Are you interested to hear what Doug has to say about this game, Mike Brenner?
Absolutely, I am. Always interested to see what Doug's got to say, especially when it's football time.
Yeah, all right, Doug Upstone. So I guess let's start with Houston, right? Savage and Brandon Weeden expected backups, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, not exactly, who's who of quarterbacks here. And, Weeden obviously probably almost a better choice just because of his experience. But, when I look at this team, I also like to look at, the running game. And, with Lamar Miller, even though he's not likely to play a whole lot, him and Alfred Blue are a nice combination. So along with their offensive line, I think there's things to like about what Houston can do offensively, even with these quarterbacks. And though, J.J. Watt's not going to play, I like their defensive depth overall in this contest as well.
All right, and then the big question, right, for the Niners, I haven't found any information on what the rotations are going to be for this game, but we got Gabbert, who I did read is almost guaranteed to be the starter week 1, and then there's Kaepernick is the second backup, and then Thad Lewis and Jeff Driscoll. So I'm assuming Cap's going to get a bunch of playing time, right?
Yeah, well, what's the? In fact, it's funny because Chip Kelly once again is playing games, and so now they're at least Gabbert and Kaepernick are co-starters so far to start the season. Now, I did read this morning actually that Kaepernick had a quote-unquote planned off day yesterday because of a sore shoulder. So that leads me to believe that Gabbert's probably going to be the starter and Kaepernick's going to come in behind him, for the 49ers. So I think that's not too bad. And the other thing, too, I like about the 49ers is their offensive line is actually already set, so I think that adds some positives for them as well.
The positives as far as this game is concerned?
As far as this game is concerned, without question, because they're more cohesive. They're not trying to build an offensive line; they already have one established.
Hey, Doug, with that being said, I know it's the first year, for Kelly. Do you think the players are buying what he's selling? And I know it's early and everything else, and this guy has drama wherever he goes. But do you think this team is capable of buckling down, buying what he's selling, and actually coming out and competing this year?
For the year, I'm not so certain, but I think for for fall football, or I should say summer football, I think that yes. I mean, players are taught to, buy into the team and team concept. Now, he's only been there, essentially as their coach for a few months and not many practices. So I think that initially, there's the buy-in, there's the change. You're trying to impress your coach. So I don't think it's a problem yet. I think down the road, though, the talents of the franchise, the questions, like with him, I think he has as many critics as he has followers on Twitter at this point.
And there's no doubt. And the way that he is with his mysterious ways, he tries to be like a Belichick, but he's nowhere near as effective. I would think that maybe the players on the 49ers, Pete, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're going to come out fighting hard because they still don't know who's going to be starting because Kelly's not revealing anything. Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense to me, Mike. I agree with you 100%. I think that from a motivational standpoint, coming into this game, Houston last year finished so strong in winning 7 of their last 9 games. So I think that's a big plus, for them. I think they're a little more established. I think that their quarterback situation, Osweiler's still a little bit up in the air, but I think it's a little more. They have young players, but they have more veteran players that also substantiate it. Whereas with San Francisco, I'm just not sure where they are. So I think motivation-wise, and first-year coaches, by the way, in the preseason, especially at home, generally speaking, are very good bets.
All right, so we know what style Chip Kelly likes to play, so that would certainly explain the line movement on the total going up. It sounds like the three of us are sort of coming together here. Maybe to recommend a play on the Niners at -3 and the over even at 36.5 or 37. Doug Upstone, is that what you recommend here?
I would definitely recommend that, Peter, for all of us. Yes, I think there's no
both
question.
Of them. You like both of them?
Yeah, he likes both of them. He likes the over, and I do too.
Doug Upstone, you like the Niners and the over?
I certainly do. Yes. Again, Houston's a better team. I think, as I mentioned, from a motivational standpoint, I think there's more there. I think also from the quarterback standpoint, San Francisco has 2 better quarterbacks that are likely to be playing in this game more than Houston. So, yes, I'd like it both ways, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if San Francisco won by 6 or more points.
And you know this, at the end of the day, Chip Kelly, as big as his ego is, Doug, he wants this win worse than anybody else because he's still pissed off that Philadelphia got rid of him.
No question about it. I mean, this guy, he is, well, as you said, an egomaniac of sorts for sure. And so I think he has something to prove, as any coach, first-year coach does. You have something to prove because the fact of the matter is with him, if he doesn't cut it in San Francisco, his days of being a head coach at this level are done.
Done.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds like we might have found some value here for the only preseason game that goes on Sunday. Thanks, Doug.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.